This video is on designing 1984, and I'll say this, there is a lot to design in this play. I would say that every single page of text has at least one, if not more, unique moments where design is integral to the storytelling. This is one of the most heavily designed plays I've ever read. And this design isn't superfluous to the play, it's what's present in the text and essential to the story. Getting started. The text is brimming with visual and oral design ideas. An exercise to get to grips with designing 1984 and to get you thinking more specifically would be to pick one page at random. Then look at this one page and see how many moments of design are offered in the text. Robert Icke and Duncan Macmillan's adaptation is jam-packed with design ideas, so much so this video could probably be an hour long. But I'll endeavour to pick out some of the more challenging or interesting moments in the text so you can work out how you can respond to it with a detailed design concept. Reading and gathering. As with all design, the first process is to carefully read the play and make a list of every explicit mention of a design element. With this play, that's going to be one long list. Next up, get gathering images, sounds, and other inspiration. 1984 is an iconic novel, so there are many films, TV series, or other artwork that's based on or inspired by it. Alongside others' interpretations, make sure you bring your own response to it too. This will result in you having a huge collection of ideas to draw from. Multimedia. In the original production, multimedia was implemented to very effective use. Consider if you want to develop or expand on this idea. And be specific here. If you're filming things live on stage and then projecting them, what will the look of the film be? Will it be vibrant and saturated, or will it be monochrome? Will you use close-ups or bird's eye view shots of the action? Will the cameras follow the action on a crane or using a Steadicam, or will they be fixed on tripods? And where will the footage be projected? Onto TVs on the set, or onto a large screen or cyc? Could the video be streamed to the audience's smartphones, where they watch parts of the story in the palm of their hands? Lighting. The play is overflowing with references to lighting, so a clear concept and meticulous use of light is essential. What sort of colours will you be using in your palette? Bright and warm, or cold and dim? There are abundant references to light bulbs, lamps, bulbs flickering and breaking, power cuts, blackouts, and so on. Do you want to use theatrical lighting, or practicals, such as light bulbs in lamps on the set, which could illuminate the space? Or can both types of light be used? And if so, which lighting will be used for which part of the story? Set and costume. The play explores the past, the present, and the future in a very disorientating way. Do you want to try and capture this timeless feel in the set and the costumes? What sort of colours, materials, or fabrics feel traditional but also contemporary? What fashions in clothing and architecture have come back round again to feel both classical and modern? What do you think the future will look like? And how can you show this in your design? Non-stop. I think one of the most difficult demands of 1984 is its relentless forward momentum and fluidity. It doesn't stop and pause at all. This means that conducting scene changes needs to be extremely efficient. How can your design serve this idea in the text? How can it be detailed, flexible, economic, and effective all at the same time? We often move to a new location in a scene almost instantaneously. So how can the world that you create on stage be quickly adaptable in order to create the ever-changing environments? Telescreens. Telescreens are a vital component in 1984. So what do they look like? Are they grand, oppressive screens, or something smaller like CCTV cameras? Do you need to reinvent them for your piece? Or could you borrow from others' interpretations on how the telescreens behave and look? Disappearing acts. There are several instances in the text where characters appear or disappear suddenly. Some of these are quick or snap changes. Do you need to have flats or areas of the set that actors can enter and exit from quickly in order to achieve this? The sound world. There are hundreds of mentions of sound in the text. What will your concept be for this? Are you interested in using electronic, synthesized, futuristic or retro sounds? Or something else entirely? Will you use effects such as distortion, delays, or reverbs? Will you use surround sound so the sound can travel around the space? Will you use microphones and amplification? How will you arrange the recurring oranges and lemons nursery rhyme in the piece? The countryside. When Julia and Winston go to the countryside, how will design facilitate this section's impression of release and confidence? How can you create the ideas of freedom, passion, and natural beauty on stage? World changing. On page 69, Winston and Julia are discovered. A stage direction states the whole world changes. In the original production, Chloe Lamford, the set designer, conceived what could be called a coup de théâtre, which is a fancy way of saying a huge turning point using theatricality. What can you do in this moment? How can you use design to solve it? How can you not just change the scene, not just change the location, but change the whole world here? Sanity is not statistical. On page 74, during Winston's torture, a stage direction states the words "sanity is not statistical" appear all around. How can you make this happen? Is this with an ensemble of actors writing all over the set? Or is this achieved through multimedia and projection? Or is this some sort of reveal using flats, screens, or wallpaper? Torture. The torture of Winston is brutal and viscerally disturbing. How will you use design to make this wholly effective for the audience? Will you use prosthetics and stage blood? And how will you create the box of rats and the mask that they put on Winston's head? By glancing at the creative team at the front of the playtext, the original production used an animal handler. Will you use real rats in your production that can be handled and looked after safely by an animal handler? Or have you got a creative solution to avoid the need for this? There are an immense amount of theatrical moments in this play that utilise set, lighting, sound, and costume design. Go through the text carefully and precisely, and let the specificity in the text inspire your creative responses. Ike and Macmillan's adaptation is very bold, filmic, and multi-sensory. Make sure that your design ideas meet these demands, and go further by pushing the envelope of what's possible. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you, please give it a like. Do check out these other videos and subscribe. And if you want to support what I do on the channel, you can click on the link in the video description. All the best.